Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, which most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people will... Oh my God, you guys, I'm forgetting this. God, I'm forgetting this. All right. So other people will not feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others. Marianne Williamson. Hello and welcome to I Am the Change. I am Michelle Simon Kelly. I'm going to drop the Kelly eventually. It's been my married name, and it was a good last name, and I'm going back to my maiden name, and I haven't taken action on it yet. I'm just getting used to saying it and practicing it. So it's weird because I've had this same last name for since 2001. So 23 years-ish, 22 years, 22 and a half years. So anyway, I'm working on getting used to saying it so I can drop it, but everything I'm learning is a process. I started doing these videos as my New Year's resolution in 2019, stating out loud that I'm breaking up with shame, I'm breaking up with guilt, and I'm breaking up with fear, followed by a weekly video for an entire year. I'm on year 6. It is on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So I started doing these videos, and I'm not great at them still. And eventually I'm going to hire somebody to help me with social media. However, it hasn't been in the cards for me yet financially. So it isn't something that I've done yet. But I am going to do one day. And a lot of times what happens for me is I need to voice what I'm doing out loud to hear myself say it. And I need to hear myself say it over and over and over and over and over again. So to manifest it, to make it happen, for it to be real. I didn't know this. You know, when I was a little girl, I grew up in the house. I was the middle child, and I used to talk all the time. And they're like, Michelle, shut up. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say. And eventually I did. I stopped talking, and I stopped giving my opinion, and I stopped saying what bothered me or didn't bother me. And I learned just to shut that part of myself down. And it's taken a long time for me to reawaken that part of myself and be comfortable talking out loud and telling you I have this amazing gift that I can tell you what's happening as it is happening. I don't wait for the explosion to happen and then tell you how I got through it. I used to wait until after I got through something and come back and say, I did this, and this is how I did it. And now I'm letting you see me vulnerable, where I am, how I am as I'm doing it. So I've been sharing with you. I went down to Texas to help with my dad. He was in skilled nursing. He actually is getting out today, which is Thursday, the 20, I don't know what today's date is, 20 something. So he's getting out today, and he's going to go stay with my brother for a little bit. And I was helping with his care, scheduling doctor's appointments. I physically took him out of the facility to go to doctor's appointments, to get a physical, to get looked at. And I was also teaching my dad how to advocate for himself. And he is doing it, and it is awesome. He took his power back because I was able to get my power back. And how long he's able to keep that for, I don't know. Doesn't matter, you know, and it's taken me a long time for me to get my power back. And what it's taken is me being in 3 12-step groups. I got sober and clean at the age of 18. I've been sober ever since. I'm now 52. I also entered a program to go back and look at my childhood, which I thought, why would I ever go back there? I don't want to look at this stuff, but it is true. For me, I had to go back and rescue myself and look into this inner child stuff that I thought was total bullshit. I now have baby Michelle, who's my little girl, Cabbage Patch, and I actually took her for a ride the other day. You can think, oh, Jesus Christ, either Michelle lost her shit or she's getting it back together. I prefer to think I'm getting it back together. I am the crazy aunt that went away for 30 years, and you might have thought she's crazy and she disappeared, and now people are starting to think maybe she knows something. And I'm at the point where I do know stuff. So I had to go in another 12-step program, and I was pissed. I was so pissed. I'm like, my family screwed up and I have to go and get the help. Yes, God called me to do it, and I needed to do it. And I was pissed about it for a really long time, but I was pissed and I did it anyway. So that's what I'm learning. Part of my process is a lot of times I get mad before I do stuff, but then I do it anyway. And I have this gift of being able to be consistent and follow through. And the only reason I have this gift is because I keep showing up every single day, even when I don't want to, because I know God picked me to. And I'm now in a third 12-step program, and this is for my food addiction, which I've had ever since I was a little girl. Candy was my main food group, and I love sugar, and it doesn't love me back. And my health was declining. I was having physical side effects. Every time I ate brown sugar, my ears would hurt. I was getting physically sick. I remember one time my friend telling me she would put dishwashing liquid on top of her food after she threw it out so she wouldn't go back in the trash can. I'm like, oh my God, I would never do that. I'm not like you. And guess what? Right before I got into Food Addicts Anonymous and started addressing my food addiction, I went and bought Twizzlers and like Rolos, I think I got, or Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, I don't know, but I ate so much I was like sick and I threw it away. And at the end of the day, when I stopped feeling so sick, I'm like, I could go back in that trash can and go get it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a disease. It is a sickness. It is progressive and it gets worse. And alcoholism is like that. And food addiction is like that. And drug addiction is like that. And usually what happens is they say, first the person takes the drink, then the drink takes the drink, then the drink takes the person. And you can substitute that for any addiction, but eventually the addiction takes the person, and that's what happens. And that has been my experience. So I'm finally working on my last addiction, which is my food addiction. And it's been a wild, crazy journey. I also have the CRPS, which is complex. I think last week I said chronic. Complex regional pain syndrome. And I told you guys I'm working on finding a doctor who will remove this hardware from my body. And I haven't found one yet. And part of me struggles with discernment. Is this a sign from God telling me no? Or is this a sign telling me to keep going and find someone else? So I'm working on finding somebody else. And a lot of times I need to hear the same answer over and over and over again before I'm able to hear it and be like, okay, this is God telling me, not right now, Michelle, or this isn't the time. So paying attention to that stuff is is what I struggle with. And you guys, I'm like Julie, the cruise director, and I love planning activities for people. I love going to activities for people. And one of the things I found out about my dad when he was in the skilled nursing is he loved all their activities. They had bingo. They had a guy come in with a guitar and play music. They had a cooking thing where they made things, and he was like so excited and so happy to go to these things, and it lit up his day and it gave him something to look forward to. And I love doing that with people and for people. So I'm not able to do my line dancing right now, that's been my joy, and because of my CRPS, I can't do it right now, and my quality of life has changed so much as a result of this. And I've had to take painkillers and muscle relaxers, and I hate taking these, and I don't want to take them, and I feel shame and guilt for taking this stuff, and I've been working on not feeling guilty taking this stuff, and it's still there because I'm in recovery and I shouldn't need to do this stuff. But the thing is that some days I can't even function unless I do this. And there was a day that my son came home to visit from Texas, and my ex-husband and me and my son and my son's girlfriend, Dana, Angelo, Dana, and Mike, we were all going to go to lunch to celebrate and see Angelo, and I couldn't go. I could not go. And that's how bad this has been for me. And that day I ended up laying down, falling asleep for 5 hours during the day, which is not my normal schedule. And I had eye makeup on half of my face. I had half, I did eye makeup on my one eye and didn't have it on the other, and I had to lay down. So taking care of myself has been a struggle, and it's so much easier to take care of other people and to help other people. But the fact of the matter is if I don't take care of myself, I won't be around to help everyone else. But when I was helping with my dad and taking care of my dad, it was hard for me to do the things that I needed to do for myself. I was able to do them, but it was extremely difficult, and I had to physically, consciously remind myself to do things. So I came home from the airport on Saturday night, and my ex-husband picked me up. He's now my Uber, and I am his, and I'm a grown-up. I am a grown-up, and I can't even believe it because I always felt like a little kid, even in an adult's body up until now. But I realized, everybody's a little kid in an adult body. And a lot of things that people like, even as older adults, is what we liked as children. Except for you have the money to do it now. Hopefully you have the money to do it. And if you don't, there are things available for free out there, and I'm great at finding those things. So my dad's coming home, and I'm going to start looking for some activities for him to do while he's down in Texas. That gives me joy. So I just want to say, this is your sign signing off. I will see you guys all next week. And about the money, we're taught we should have money. We should be good with it. We should save it and not talk about it. And you guys, I never learned how to handle money. So I'm learning how to handle money as an adult, just to let you guys know. All right, take care. I'll see y'all next week.